This is Matt Dobrovolsky reporting for History Network News. I am beyond thrilled to report that women's rights has gained more acknowledgement thanks to Ernestine Rose, born January 13, 1810 in Poland. She was one of the major influential forces behind the women's rights movement of the 19th century of America. In her childhood, she began to feel the neglect of women upon society as experienced at age 16 when her mother died and her father betrothed her to a young Jewish man who was a friend of his without the consent of Rose herself. In May of 1836, Rose immigrated to the United States, where they later became citizens and settled in New York City in 1837. Rose opened a perfume store inside their home, and Rose sold her perfumed toilet water, and her husband William Ella Rose, who was a Christian jeweler, ran a silversmith shop. Rose began to give lectures on the subjects that had most interested her, and she joined the Society of Moral Philanthropists. She traveled to different states to give her opinions on the causes for abolition of slavery, religious tolerance, public education, and equality for women everywhere. In the winter of 1836, Judge Thomas Hurdle submitted a Married Women's Property Act to the legislature of New York City. Rose heard of this and decided to draw up the petition and began to solicit names in support of it. Now the petition has been sent to the state legislature, although it only had 5 names on it. This was the first petition that was introduced in favor of rights for women. Little did we know that later in the following years, Rose had increased both the number of petitions and signatures. Later in 1849, these rights would finally win. This has been Matt Dobrovolsky reporting for History Network News. Now stay tuned for a review of the brand new newspaper, The Liberator.